talking about just starting from scratch. You have to jump in order to get in the water. You could have at some points gone either way in the fight. Okay, we're back. We are back. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in once again to the Ricky2ra Podcast, episode 56. That's right. My glasses are steaming up, man. So you know what it is. You know what the drill is now. I feel like I'm repeating myself every podcast episode, but if you don't know, this is where I just basically talk about what's on my mind. I talk about some topics now and again. If you're new, I'm a magician from Leeds. Please check out episodes 1, 2, and 3 if you're not sure about that. I talk about my magic journey, experiences, things I want to accomplish in the future, things I've done in the past. I go into other passions that I'm interested in as well. Like I'm a big Marvel fan in the movies and stuff. I love boxing, football. I talk about other things as well, self-help tips and tips for magicians as well. Basically, I do a bit of everything in this podcast really as well. And if you think, oh, this guy's a bit selfish, he talks about himself a lot, well, it is the Ricky2ra Podcast after all. So, without further ado, I want to talk about a few things, but before that, I need to talk about the weather, because I swear to God, I opened the shop, I was in the shop this morning, and it was freezing, right? And for some reason, like, it's a bit weird, but whenever I wear black, it seems to be sunny. And I swear down, like, it was not sunny this morning. And now, like, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see, like, part of the sun on my screen, like, on my wardrobes. Like, the sun has just come out now. And I swear down, it's every time I wear black. Like, I'm wearing this black hoodie today because I thought, you know what, it's going to be cold, but you know what it is, I got a delivery coming today, and if it's sunny, I'm going to have to take this off because, yeah, but I've done it, like, not even messing about, like, nearly every time, man, when I've worn a black hoodie or something black, it's been sunny, so, anyway, that's English weather for you. But, yeah, man, checked the statistics last week. I've got a big US percentage that listen to this, so, yeah, you know what? Let's go to the cities and stuff. I don't know if it's real data or if it's bots or anything, but I'm clearly shouting out the US today, and the reason why is because there is a big percentage of US fans or listeners. To be honest, I could just be finessing myself and just maybe the anchor thing got it wrong, but this is literally what it's saying. So if I go to United States, so Ohio, Washington, Texas, Virginia, California, New Jersey, Georgia, Oregon, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, Florida, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Michigan, Tennessee. Okay, if we click on Ohio, Columbus, Sandusky, I'm sorry if I got that wrong as well. If I click on Washington, it's Seattle. Shout outs to you guys there. If I click on Texas, it's Dallas. Shout outs to you there as well. If I click on Virginia, nothing else comes up, and nothing comes up for the other ones. But yeah, big up everyone that listens from there as well. And to all my other listeners as well, I have not forgotten about you, but I just noticed that there was a bit more of a big following coming from the US as well. So I really do appreciate each and every single one of you, everyone that listens to this as well. So yeah, Weatherman Rick, the leaves are growing now. It's not leafless. Clear blue sky, actually. And it's sunny, but it is pretty cold outside. But it's sunny from where I'm looking from. So that's your Weatherman Rick. I hope the US like my Weatherman Rick, because literally if you come to the UK, all we talk about is the weather. So when COVID is over, people from the US, and you come over to the UK, it don't matter where you are, if you're in London. Well, I'm a Yorkshire man. So if you go to Yorkshire, like Leeds or something like that, if you do not know what to say to anyone, just talk about the weather. Just be like, oh, it's cold today, mate, ain't it? Or it's a bit of a wet one today. Trust me, you'll pull out a whole conversation with a random stranger. Trust me. Then there you go. There's your self-help tip that I promised. So yeah, let's get in to the topics today. Now, I am on 2 bars on my camera. It may flash red, maybe, because I was filming yesterday as well on a full battery, and it's just gone to 2. So if it does flash red, I will warn you, but I highly doubt it will, because I only charged it yesterday and I didn't do that much filming. But we'll see how it goes, podcast. So let's talk about the topics for today. So the first topic, new Marvel trailer. Second one, approaching strangers doing magic. That's something that I've mainly touched on before, but I want to talk a bit more about it. Number 3, Chisora v Parker reaction. Come on, because I did the build up last week. And the last one, cinemas reopening. I want to talk a bit more about that as well. But yeah, let's dive straight in to the first topic. So, new Marvel trailer. If you guys are not superhero fans and stuff, I'd just skip this if you're not into like superhero movies or Marvel stuff. If you are, please stay, because you know exactly what I'm talking about. Marvel released like on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you watched it, like a trailer of different Marvel movies, but it was Marvel Studios celebrates the movies. That's what it was. And when I last watched it, it was on 5.9 million views when I was writing my notes up. And basically it was talking about the experience, how, basically, long story short, it's like, come see our movies because the cinemas are dying, basically. And I love the cinemas, and I'm going to go into that in the last topic. But every single Marvel movie that I've seen has to be like in the cinema. Like, obviously there's a few that I haven't because I was late to watch a few and stuff, so I watched it online and stuff like that. But the majority of them I've seen in cinemas, and you can't beat that experience, that cinema experience. And basically what Marvel were doing was showing all the different movies before, and it gave me goosebumps because whoever the editor was for it was just amazing. They made you feel like I wasn't even at the cinemas watching the trailer, but the trailer made me feel like I was in the cinemas. It gave me goosebumps, basically. And it's that really like high intensity music, like it's a build up to something that's about to happen. And it did really, because they announced new dates for Marvel Phase 4. So basically it's telling you go back to the cinemas, but it's telling you look at this body of work that we've got coming out in the cinemas. And Marvel have got new dates for new movies, which we knew about, but we didn't know about the dates properly. And they've got 4 movies coming out this year. And I don't think Marvel have done that before. If I'm wrong, maybe I could be wrong. I swear they've done 3 before, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they have done 4 before. But they've got 4 movies coming out this year, bearing in mind the first one's in July. So nothing for the first 7 months, obviously, because, pandemic, a bit 50-50, cinemas are closed. But yeah, from July, so you're talking from July up to December, they've got movies coming out. So July the 9th, Black Widow, which is also available to pre-order on Disney Plus as well on the same date to watch at home. But otherwise, it's back to the same schedule. So I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Shang-Chi. That's out on September the 3rd. The trailer dropped last week for that as well, which looks amazing. Eternals, they gave new footage for that, like exclusive. That was on November the 5th, it's coming out. And obviously Spider-Man No Way Home, December 17th. Obviously they did not release any footage for that because that is a big one. But yeah, that's the setup for basically 2021. I will talk about them in a second, but I just want to tell you, because they not only gave you the 2021, they gave you 2022 and 2023, which was amazing. Okay, so 2022, it is Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, which is out on the 25th of March. Kind of beat myself up about that, because if it was no COVID, it would have actually been out today or tomorrow or something like that. But oh well. Thor Love and Thunder, May the 6th. Black Panther Wakanda Forever. That's an exclusive that. It's been titled Wakanda Forever, July the 8th. Obviously, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. I'm very excited to see what they do for that movie. And The Marvels, which is out on November the 11th, 2022. Obviously, it's going to include Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, and the new TV show Marvel as well. I forgot her name, but they're probably all going to be in it. And 2023 slot, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which is out in February. 2023. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, we finally got a cool title for that, which is out May 5th. And they teased, but they didn't do anything about it. They teased Fantastic Four, which is just the logo. They didn't give a date on it. But if you bear in mind, for 2021, they've given 4 movies. 2022, they've given 4 movies. But in 2023, they've only given you 3 movies and 2 dates. So if you think about it, February 2023, March, April, May, which is 3 months. That's the second one, Guardians of the Galaxy. So May, June, July, August. Yeah, I'm kind of guessing August time. So you're talking about summertime. Maybe July, end of July, or maybe August time. I'm thinking Fantastic Four, July, August 2023, the summer of 2023, which everything, fingers crossed, should be. COVID will probably be in the background by then. Like, it would be something that we all talked about, like, oh, remember when we couldn't hug each other and stuff, couldn't go to the cinemas. Hopefully Fantastic Four. And I feel like Marvel have got a big gun under the sleeves on what the 4th movie could be, because you can't just leave us in August. You've got to release something in like November, December time. So I'm very excited to see if there will be a 4th movie in 2023, because I know the slot, like, they didn't say anything about Captain America 4, they didn't say anything about Blade as well, so maybe Blade could be that kind of movie. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what they do for that. I don't know if it'll be a 4th Spider-Man movie, because that one's coming out today, but you never know, it could be. But yeah, or it could be a Young Avengers movie. I don't think so yet. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm quite excited to see what they have in store for us then. And I'm talking like 2 years from now, so it could be any other time really. But I'm very excited with that time slot as well. But I just want to talk about this year's movies, all right, and the other movies 2022, 2023, I'm just going to leave it at that. But there's amazing YouTube channels that do explain that as well, which is Emergency Awesome and New Rockstar. So please check them out as well. But I just want to talk about this year's. Obviously, Black Widow, we got the trailer last year, but the pandemic happened. So we know basically all about Black Widow. And now we can finally see it on July the 9th. I'm probably going to watch that in the cinemas as well. I'm quite excited to go and just get that experience again, because I've watched a load of movies at home now. Not like new movies that are premiered, but like I watched them all in lockdown, the first lockdown. So it's like I don't want to stay at home and watch Black Widow. Like, fair enough, I've got Disney Plus and I can order it, but it's like, nah, I'm good. Obviously, it's going to be like a different type of experience in the cinemas, because obviously you got to stay social distance in the cinemas and you have to wear a mask, I believe. But when you're drinking and having popcorn, you can take it off. But anyway, it'll just be nice to just be in that environment again. So I'm looking to go. Shang-Chi, September the 3rd. That trailer released last week, I believe. And I was quite excited, actually, because I wasn't sure what to expect for it. I thought it was going to be like a boring movie, but the trailer has proved me wrong. And I'm definitely going to see that. I'm not very familiar with it, so I don't really have much to talk about it. But what I can say is, if you haven't seen it, watch the trailer Shang-Chi and watch it, because it's got me heavily invested. And I'm actually quite intrigued to see what the post-credit scenes will be as well, especially in Black Widow. As well, because obviously that movie is, I believe it's between Civil War and Infinity War, I believe, for Black Widow's story, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I'm I'm intrigued about Shang-Chi. That's one out of the list that's kind of just there as in like, prove me wrong, like, because the trailers prove me wrong, but like I will need to see the full movie now. Eternals, I'm not very familiar with Eternals. I have done a bit of homework a little bit on it in the past. But the trailer, well, it was kind of like a teaser in that whole celebration trailer that I'm talking about. It looks good. I want more. I need to be sold more for that. But I'm gonna watch it because it's Marvel and it adds up to the stories and stuff like that anyway. So I'm very interested in that. And Spider-Man, you know what I'm like in Spider-Man. No Way Home. I'm watching that December 17th. I'm there. Hopefully everything will be okay, please, for December time, that we can just go roll into cinemas and stuff. But yeah, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. If you don't know about that, I talked about Spider-Man the animated series in one of them, and I told my story about how I was a big fan. But usually Spider-Man's out in July time, round about my birthday time. But obviously because of the pandemic, it's been pushed to December, which is all good still because I believe it's kind of got a Christmas vibe to it from set photos. So yeah, I'm very the thing that I love about this movie is that they've not said anything, like everything's zipped up. The only thing I believe that's been let out is that Dr. Octopus, Alfred Molina, or Molina, I'm sorry if I got his name wrong, is playing Dr. Octopus. We don't know how he appears in the movie because obviously he's from a different Spider-Man movie in a different time, which is by far my favourite Spider-Man movie, the Tobey Maguire one, Spider-Man 2. But yeah, we don't. That's all I know. I don't know if Tobey Maguire is going to be. The rumours are Andrew Garfield are going to be in it, but apparently he came on an interview and said he hadn't even got a call. I don't know, but I'm very excited to see at least some sort of trailer because I really thought they were going to do a teaser on that, but Marvel are keeping the cards close to the chest. But maybe next month or the month after we could get a trailer of some sort because they do need to sell this movie. So yeah, it should be good watching the Marvel films again. I've really missed it. Obviously, I've said previously that Spider-Man Far From Home was the last Marvel film that I watched. And that was 2 years ago nearly now. So yeah, it's been a long time. So I'm definitely going to watch Black Widow in the cinemas. Definitely. But yeah, that's all I've got for that. So if you're a big Marvel fan, let me know which film you're most excited to see. It can be from any year from 21 to 23. So yeah, let me know. I'm very excited for Fantastic Four in 2 years' time. So yeah, that's that. Let's jump on to the next topic. You know what? We've got a nice mix of topics today. Normally it's about 2 or 3 of them that being the same, but I've actually got very different ones. Obviously, my last topic and this first topic that I talked about is a bit similar, but I've got a nice, divide in between. So this is one for you, magicians, okay? This is specific for you. So if you've come to this episode and skipped to this, thank you, because this is for you. This is from my experience as well. I've talked about performing magic, but I don't believe I've talked about approaching strangers doing magic. Now, this can be in a booked environment where you've been booked for a gig, or if you're first starting out. But I believe if I'm talking about this topic, I'm going to take it way back to just actually going to somebody. Forget about being booked, forget about this and that. I'm talking about just starting from scratch, the basics. You've learned a few magic effects, and it's like you've tired your family out for magic, and you need to go and, practice on someone else or show other people. So, what do? If I'm correct, I talked about this in 2014 was a game changer. I can't remember. I think it was my first. No, it wasn't my first gig. I can't remember what the episode was, but I talked about it where I first actually just started to just let it all out and just show strangers magic. But you have to go for it. That's the number one thing. Do not overthink it. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. How many effects you've got under your belt? You've practiced it all on your friends, family. You need to go out. And bearing in mind, I'm talking about pre-COVID, environment. This is before COVID, obviously, that I'm talking about. But when things are getting there, I'm telling you this for when you can approach people again, because I know it's very hard at the moment. So, you have to go for it, okay? You just have to. Like, in your mind, you're going to think, the number one thing in your mind, you're going to be thinking, what if I get it wrong? What if I get it wrong? What if I get it wrong? And that's taking effect on you for approaching people. So you're thinking about yourself, and you're not even thinking about them. So if you're not even thinking about yourself, how are you going to go up to them? So don't just go for it. Just throw it. It's like on a diving board, and you have to jump in order to get in the water. You can't, back out and go down the stairs and tiptoe in the water, because that's just crap. So don't overthink about it, and don't back out. Like, when you're approaching someone, don't go halfway and then turn around saying you can't do it. Because if you're doing that, you're going to be doing that for the rest of your life, and you're not going to get anywhere at all. So this is from experience, show the most simplest effect to start off. And I'm talking about simple. I'm not talking about like produce a lemon, put a phone in a bottle, card in mouth and stuff like that. If that's simple for you, do card in mouth. But in a pre-COVID environment, I'm talking about, and after COVID. But yeah, just show like your most simplest effect. The most simplest effect that I did was the invincible deck. That was simple to me, okay, magicians. For non-magicians, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But for magicians, that's what I'm talking about. Keep it consistent as well. Don't be switching it up after you've gone to one person like, yes, I'm going to do this. No, keep doing the same effect. Even if you just want to show the invisible deck and leave it at that, that's good. Go to the next one, show them the same effect. You'll get used to, your wording, how you're going to say things, and what you can improve on, because it will go wrong. And when it goes wrong, right, that's the most beautiful thing that can happen, because you'll be like, oh man, I need to improve on that. And you just practice, perform. It's the 2 P's, practice, perform. You've got to keep it consistent. And obviously we're in this COVID environment, and you can't really go up to people as much and do it. Like, I haven't done magic to a stranger in a long time, and it's really, let me down. But you can do it over Zoom and stuff, which I have done previously. But yeah, that's what I'd say. Don't be afraid as well. This is very key, okay? Because it will make or break you, this. This is very key. Don't be afraid of people saying no. The amount of no's I've got when performing magic, you just move on. And I've talked about this, dealing with the no's. So if you go to an episode of mine called Dealing with the No's, it's in a 4-topic one. I explain that in depth there. But for short, don't be afraid of people saying no. Just move on to the next person, okay? When somebody says no to you, it doesn't mean they don't like you. It doesn't mean, like, oh, there's a magician. It just means that in their current situation, they haven't got the time available to see it, or they just don't like magic. It's either one of the two, okay? And you just move on. That's basically it. If you're going out in the public, the amount of people that you show is limitless. It's up to you how many people you want to go up to. Obviously, it will take time to show people, because you need to stop people. But if you go over time and show people, you'll get to know, and you'll know from experience what people you think, even before you go up to them, will be good for your effect. Okay? But I'm just saying, approaching strangers doing magic. I'm stripping everything back. I'm just telling you the basics. I'm not going to go in depth 20 minutes saying you need to do this. I've basically just said it. Show your most basic effect to one person. Just start off with one. Even if that person says no, you go and move on to someone else, okay? And you just don't overthink about it. Don't think about if things go wrong, and don't think about if things go right. Just do it, okay? And you'll see from there, and you'll build from there, because you can't start, if you're not going to do anything. And I've talked about this in the past, where it's me learning a new effect. I find it hard to show people new effects because I'm so used to showing them the ones that I'm good at, and it puts a halt in your performance style and your learning, because you'll be doing the same magic effect for like 5-6 years, practicing it and not showing it to anyone. So just go out there, keep it consistent, and you have to go for it. There's no other option. You can't just be like, maybe tomorrow, and it's like, nope, it's today, it's now. So yeah, it might be a bit harsh, it might be less information for you, maybe other people have got better information, but that's just from me, for experience. I'm just like that. You have to go for it, don't overthink it, don't back out, you have to do it. Show the most simplest one, keep it consistent, and don't be afraid of people saying no. And if they say, can you show me another one? Well, you've got a nice 3 to 4 effects to show them. If you don't have another one, you can just say, I'm just showing people at the moment, I'll have more for next time. But you can check me out on, and give them your socials and stuff as well. So yeah, just learn it, but just take it one step at a time. That's all I'm saying. Just take it one step at a time. And that's all I've got for approaching strangers for magic, because basically it's that simple. And it's always the hardest. The first one's always the hardest to overcome, but once you do it, you've kind of, it's like a drug, kind of. You get some sort of like high from it, from just the first one that you've shown. It's like you just go around forever doing it. So yeah, just do it. So that's my advice on approaching strangers for magic. It's always when I do the podcast, my nose just has a life of its own, and just be like, yo, I'm going to end Ricky's podcast right here. Oh, man. So, Chisora v Parker reaction. This is the third topic of the podcast episode. So, what did I think of the fight? Well, first of all, apart from the main event, because we will get to the main event, that undercard of fights was phenomenal. I only started watching it, from the Eubank fight, Eubank Jr. v Morrison. That was a good fight as well. Chris Eubank won on unanimous decision. And then I watched Campbell Hatton. He won on unanimous decision. And then I saw Katie Taylor's fight as well, which was phenomenal. The women's fight was unbelievable. Like, women boxing is definitely up there. Like, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't main event that as well, because it was a great fight. It went for a full 12 rounds, and they were at it from round 1. And Katie Taylor obviously won on decision, but it could have at some points gone either way in the fight. But that was a phenomenal fight. Like, credits to both of the fighters there. They produced one hell of a fight. But the main event, and you know what, the main event, I was thinking, how is it going to top it? Nobody really got a knockout from when I saw it. But it was like, come on, something's got to happen. And what happens? Chisora gets in the ring. Parker gets in the ring. And 7 seconds in, bam, Chisora knocks down Parker. And I'm thinking, what? It's literally just starting the fight. But yeah, it kind of just caught him, but he wasn't hurt. But it just caught him out of the blue. But I think this fight was super close. And when I tell you super close, I'm talking about like a little, like that much. It could have gone either way, and I really felt bad for Chisora, when Parker got the decision. But it was a very, very entertaining fight. And Chisora, whatever he's getting trained, whatever he's eating, whatever he's drinking, keep doing it, because my man was not running out of steam at all. My man was doing punches for days, man. And I was saying that last week in the build-up. I was saying, you know what, if Chisora does this, he's going to win. And he did it perfectly. And obviously, it took Parker a while. I think he was trying to, maybe tire him out, let Chisora get his punches in first and use some steam. But Parker put some good shots together. in the later, after about the 5th, 6th round, Chisora started putting a good combination of punches together, and it could have gone either way because he was hurting Chisora as well, but Chisora was putting damage on Parker, and it was a very entertaining fight, and I felt so sorry for Chisora. Like, you don't understand, because my man's not retiring. He said that in the interview, but he said, and Chisora is such an honest person. That's what I love about him. He's such an honest person, and he was saying that he got robbed or something like that along them lines. But he showed respect to Joseph Parker. But Chisora said that he's not retiring, he's still going, and he'd love to have a rematch. And even Parker said he'd love to do the rematch. And even Parker's trainer said, this is how honest man Parker's trainer is, because he's only been working with him for like 4 or 8 weeks or something like that. He said that Chisora should have won the fight because Parker wasn't at his best. So it could have literally gone either way, this fight, and I was gutted. But I think Parker needed it more on paper, because Chisora didn't really give a crap about what happened if he won anyway. But I really wanted Chisora to win that fight, but it was super, literally, it was super close, and some of the points and stuff, he got a knockdown and stuff as well, Chisora, but what can you do? But I've got a funny story to tell about this. I ordered Five Guys whilst watching the match, so I was eating Five Guys burger. I got a cool burger, I got some nice chips with it as well. It was amazing. So I saw, after the fight, the next day, because I switched the fight off, and then I watched it the next day, Chisora and Parker eating Five Guys at the back, and I'm thinking, what are the odds on that? Because I didn't even know that Chisora bought burgers for whoever he was fighting after the match and stuff like that. So it was just a cool story. I thought, what a coincidence, because I had no idea. I just fancied a Five Guys on that night, and I just ordered one and picked it up. So it was quite funny to see, what the odds on that happening. But I'd love to see the rematch. Let me know. Would you love to see the rematch against Parker and Chisora, or would you like Parker maybe to face somebody else, or Chisora to face somebody else? I don't really know who else Chisora could fight. I honestly have no idea. But for Parker, since he's won, I don't know, there's loads of people out there. I think Joe Joyce would be pretty good for Parker as well, or maybe a Dillian White rematch as well. But I'd love to see the rematch between Chisora and Parker. But let me know if you guys feel the same way, or maybe somebody different. So let's hop on to the last topic, and this is going to be a short topic, and I've talked about it briefly before, but I just want to talk about it now since we talked about the Marvel stuff right at the beginning. So this topic is cinemas reopening. I'm a big cinema person, I'm a very chill person, I love going to the cinemas. It's just a vibe to it as well. So, yeah, I can't wait to go back. I feel like I said before, Black Widow may be the first movie that I see. I know that cinemas are reopening on the 17th of May, but I feel like I won't be going till July, unless there's a movie on. I don't know yet. I'm going to have a look at the schedule to see if there's any cool movies that I want to watch for May or June. But it may be July that I'll go back. Cinemas, man, who hasn't been to the cinemas, man? I watched Batman Dark Knight Rises in cinemas, man. It was amazing, man. Imagine watching right? I'm talking about 10 years ago, man. So imagine watching Dark Knight Rises at home. You just ordered it and it's I'm watching it. Nah, man, you don't do that. You go to the cinemas and you watch it. Maybe I'm just old school. Maybe this whole new generation of people like watching it at home, which I understand as well. If I'm not feeling it going to the cinemas and I can order it at home, I'd watch it. You know what I mean? If I'm not feeling it, or maybe the weather's crap, it's I don't want to go out. But the other percentage of the time, I'm talking about 10% at home, but 90% of the time I'm going to go out to watch it. because you cannot go to the cinemas without having popcorn and stuff like that. And if you're a real one, you would have got your popcorn before and your sweets before and put it in your jacket because the cinema prices were expensive. If you're a real one, you know that. But yeah, you've got to watch it. I watched Ant-Man in the cinemas. I watched Spider-Man in the cinemas. I even watched Spider-Man 2 in the cinemas, man. Like 2004 vibes, man, whenever that was out. So, like, you cannot, like, you've got to have a bite to eat, get your popcorn and sweets, go in, have a good time. When I was watching Spider-Man Far From Home, man, I had sweets all around me, man. I was, like, if you looked at me whilst I was on my cinema chair, like, if you were there, like, if you were in front of me and you turned around, I would have had a bag of sweets here, bag of sweets here, bag of sweets on me, and a bag of sweets in between my legs, like, all open, bro. Man was watching Spider-Man like this. I was, like, dipping into each one, like, I do not mess about when I'm at the cinemas, okay? Like, trust me. Like, if it's popcorn time, popcorn's here, the sweets are here. I got to have some jelly sweets here. I got to have some nice sweets here. Like, you got to make sure, like, you eat these sweets, on time as well, because they're going to melt otherwise. So, trust, I've got this on lock, man. I know what I'm doing when I'm at the cinemas, man. I do not mess about, bro. If people are talking behind me, it's like, I'm going to turn around about maybe 1-2 times and look at you. But obviously I'm not going to do it a third time because I don't want man to slap my head or anything like that. But you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, I don't mess about. That's how much I love the cinemas, man. But my question to you guys is, will you be going back? Or are you just used to the whole Netflix things now, just at home? Let me know. I'm very interested in that. Look at that. My battery's flashing red now. And I'm about to end this episode. But it's all right. We'll keep going. Cinemas is just it's a thing, man. You got to go to the cinemas. Like, I don't know if you have never been to the cinemas, like, try it once. But if you have, you have. I've never been to a drive-through cinema, so that I really want to do one of them. I know they were already open before in the UK, but I've never actually been to one. So maybe that's something. But yeah, that's basically all I've got today. I want to do a shout out because I've not done this shout out before, and if she is listening, tap yourself on the back. I would like to give a big shout out to Hannah Johnson. The reason why is because you support. Sorry, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's not Hannah. Oh, I'll tell you what, my mind's all over the place. Hannah, if you listen to this, Hannah Boyce, I'm really sorry. I'd love to give a big shout out to Hannah Boyce because you left a review on Apple Podcasts and you really loved the random episode as well. I don't know how I forgot about shouting you out last time, but you've been shouted out today, so big shout outs to you as well, and make sure to check her podcast out as well because she's doing amazing on it as well. Please check her out as well at Hannah Boyce as well. Please check her out on Twitter and a podcast series as well. Guys, that is me done today, okay? I am all done. It's still sunny outside and I'm wearing a black hoodie. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day or night. Well, first of all, thank you for listening. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'll see you back for episode 57 next week. And have a great day or night wherever you are.